Hello, hello. Greetings, everyone. I see how you're joining. Uh, your faces are popping up. It's great to have you here. It's great to be together in these webinars. Yeah, just a warm welcome from my side. And yeah, great to be in your company.
Welcome also from my side, from another part of the world, from Romania. I'm Bogdan, and I'm very happy and honored to be here with you for these 2 hours that I really hope they will be of great value for all of us. Thank you for being here.
Mhm. Mm. We have created a lot of delicious things for you to feed on in these 2 hours. And mm, before we go there, we just want to bring the framework in which we are meeting today. So, yeah, these webinars are part of the project that we have been working on for the last 1 year, which is called Seeds of Future. And in this project, we have been working with youth workers and with young people on the topic of eco-awakening as a way of, let's say, reinforcing um, the work done in the field of environmental sustainability and also in the field of personal and community development. And yeah, these webinars are here to offer inspiration, theory, and tools to apply in your daily life and yeah, with the young people you work with. And we have to say that this whole thing is funded by the European Union, and we're very grateful that we can do these gatherings um, and these projects fund in this funded way. So yeah, that's a little bit about the project, but a little bit about me. Um, my name is Eleni. I come from Cyprus, and I am working with people. I am a facilitator and space holder, and I care deeply about tending what is sacred, including earth and so much more. So, yeah, once more, I'm delighted to be here with you. And I'm also delighted to work with this man over here who will introduce himself.
Yeah, thank you, Eleni, for bringing these webinars and this project into life and into the world. And I'm very happy to be part of this great journey. And just a few words about me. So I live in Romania. I was born here and I grew up here. And I'm a human development that I call myself nature-based human development guide, and I like to see myself as a weaver of processes and journeys and experiences that bring together psychology, nature connection, spirituality, um, the divine, the great mysteries, stories, music, embodiment. And I'm a facilitator, trainer, mentor for quite some times since 2010. And I'm also honored to be working with Eleni since 2013 when we first met a long time ago. So this is a little bit about me and about us. So we create a bridge between the two of us and all of you there. And yeah, thank you again for joining this time. And this webinar will be a weaving that will be done between Eleni and I. And I want to take you now to a process, a journey that will maybe shift a little bit our consciousness the energy and the intention of this webinar. So for the following moments, I'm gonna briefly tell you what's gonna happen, and then we are going to engage for a few minutes in this process. We are going to connect with the 7 directions. So I will be guiding you through my voice, and there will be some music in the background to connect with the 4 directions, of the middle ground, middle plane, that are the east, the south, the west, and the north. And then also upper world, going upwards and then going downwards to the Mother Earth, to the underworld, and then completing this evoking of the directions with the 7th direction, which is within us. And I will guide you with some words, and you are invited to move in the house. It will be standing up ideally, but yeah, engage in this practice the way it feels right to you. And this would be also a moment for you to light the candle with you. Just take a moment to light the candle, feel into this sacred element that the fire is. And as I'm preparing the music, prepare yourself to stand up and find your right place in the room where you are. And I just want to check with you if you can hear the sound of the music. Okay, great. So I'm inviting you slowly to find yourself standing in the room with the light of the candle by your side, if that's the case. And try to face the direction that is east. If you're not familiar where the east is, do not worry. Just maybe the place where you see the sun rising. And as you're facing east, just take a deep breath in. Place of the sunrise, of new beginnings, the morning, the spring, the direction of childhood, the direction that invites us to be present and non-attached. The direction in which many tradition it holds the element of the air. We call and we make ourselves available, and the medicine of the East that is outside and inside of us. And I'm inviting you to turn 90 degrees to the right, facing south. And you may allow your body to make any movements of maybe opening your arms or stretching as we are calling upon the south. Place that symbolizes warmth and heat, intense energy, the symbol of the midday, the summer, and the adolescence. place that holds in many traditions the element of fire, the place that holds our wild indigenous self, embodied, free, authentic self. We welcome the gifts and medicine of the South. And we are now invited to shift again, turning to the right 90 degrees, facing the west, the place where the sun is setting, the place light is replaced by darkness, the west symbolizing autumn, adulthood, mysteries, and in many traditions the element of water. We welcome the gifts and the medicine of the West. And we shift again, turning towards the right 90 degrees to the north, where in the northern hemisphere is the place of deep winter, stability, elderhood, wisdom, revelations, and leadership. The place that holds in many traditions the element of the earth. We embrace the gifts and the medicine of the north. Words, maybe turning our face, looking up, maybe stretching our arms up into the sky, into the ceiling. And we call for the great mystery, the great spirit that received countless names in countless traditions and religions. And we open ourselves to the mysterious cosmos and the intelligence that animates everything. And we shift downwards, maybe dropping into our knees, touching the ground, getting closer to the underworld, the place of the sacred Mother Earth, the place of collective mysteries and wisdom, archetypes, the place of our shared human journey. We bring thanks and give gratitude for the underworld, the Mother Earth. And we slowly stand up, returning to the seventh direction that is within us, maybe placing our arms on the chest or on the belly. This seventh direction, the crossroad, the meeting point of all the other directions, the place of our higher self, of our conscious self, from where we live each moment, from where our unique and mysterious life is unfolding. Just spending here 1 or 2 more moments feeling that we are grounded in all these 7 directions, receiving guidance, medicine, and inspiration. everything that is beyond us and within us. Just breathe into this moment, taking maybe one deep breath in and out. And then slowly we are inviting you to return to your initial place. Welcome back, or maybe welcome home. I hope something happened for you in these moments. I hope at least maybe you shifted more into this time and space that is this webinar. And this webinar is about ecological consciousness and the shift from ego-centric to earth-centric. And this could be a practice to feel into this ecological consciousness, the calling of the 7 directions. One simple yet powerful sacred practice. And one more possibility of shifting and deepening into this ecological consciousness can be poetry. And we want to bring a poem to you that hopefully will put more wood on the fire that we are stirring this time together. And this poem is called Two Universes, and is written by Tom Hirons. And I will read this poem twice. The two universes, the universe, and it goes like this. There is a pretend universe in front of the real universe, but it takes effort or skill to see through it, or maybe sometimes luck. If you're not careful, you might end up believing the fake universe is the real universe. And then you would be in all sorts of trouble. Am I right? Sick societies cast spells to keep you believing such nonsense. But all the time there are 100,000 dancers in the real universe urging you to see through the trick. If you get quiet enough, you might hear them. But you might also find them in the heart of life's mayhem. Mayhem like troubles of life. When your husband leaves you, or your wife, or someone dies, or is born, or when you lose your job and can't pay the rent and it looks like winter's bleaker than you can bear. Or in the middle of 4 days fasting, dancing on the mountain, maybe. What we call sacred is the real universe singing to us. Listen for the dancers. Listen for the song. Peel back the pretend universe and learn to hear the sweet sound of reality. Everyone you love is waiting for you there. So one more time, and if you wish, you may close your eyes or look on the window or in the candle. There is a pretend universe in front of the real universe, but it takes effort or skill to see through it, or maybe sometimes luck. If you are not careful, you might end up believing the fake universe is the real universe, and then you would be in all sorts of trouble. Am I right? Six societies cast spells to keep you believing such nonsense, but all the time there are 100,000 dancers in the real universe, urging you to see through the trick. If you get quiet enough, you might hear them, but you might also find them in the heart of life's mayhem. When your husband leaves you, or your wife, or someone dies or is born, or when you lose your job and can't pay the rent, and it looks like winter's bleaker than you can bear. Or in the middle of 4 days fasting, dancing on a mountain, maybe. What we call sacred is the real universe singing to us. Listen for the dancers, listen for the song. Peel back the pretend universe and learn to hear the sweet sound of reality. Everyone you love is waiting for you there. So this is the poem about the two universes. Maybe we spend some time today or this week or previous week in one of them. But today in this meeting we want to get to know the real universe even more intimately. The dancers are calling for us. And let's see how we will engage with them. So Eleni, feel free to take the lead.
The dancers are waiting for us and they're dancing and singing for us. And perhaps if we listen carefully, maybe we would listen as the poem says. And we are going to invite this practice now of deep listening, as we have invited you to bring a natural object, a natural being, a wild being with you. And that's the moment to bring it here in front of you. And if you didn't bring, it's also okay. The fire you have in front of you is also a wild being, and the air we're breathing is also a wild being, and the water you have in your cups is also a wild being. Even your hand, you can even take your hand and consider it. It is, right? We are nature. So, yeah, we are going to be for a moment quiet with this being, and I will guide you through a little process. So, yeah, you're invited to bring your attention to this being, and by bringing your attention, you might start by observing it with your eyes. You might start looking at the shape and the colors of this being, of this object. You might spend a moment with its particular characteristics and how it differs from all the other beings around or objects around. You might want also to touch it more carefully, more delicately with your hands if you can, with your fingers. Now observing through the lenses of your skin, again paying attention at the details and the way touch feels with this particular element, as well as the temperature it has and the texture it has. You might also open to observing it with other senses, like your hearing, if it makes any sound, or if you touch it and then the sound is somehow created. Maybe also with your tongue, if it's something that you want to try and taste or smell it. Somehow, this element has picked you or you picked it. So there is something there, something important. I'm wondering what if we had even a deeper silence, and through that silence, we open our imagination and we can hear the story of this object or this being. What is the story? What is it? What is its myth? It's possible that no direct answer comes right away, and just be patient. Maybe announce to it even more clearly that you are curious. I am curious about your story. Tell me, I'm ready to listen. And just keep waiting and keep listening. Mhm. You want as a gratitude for what has been spoken or not. You may want to offer a word of praise, a line something like, thank you for being in this and this way, inspiring me, or calling me, attracting me, and so on. And it's extra precious if you do it with words like language we're using, out loudly, I mean. You can try. You might also want to tell the title of your story, and it's only the title of your story with a promise to tell the whole story later on, but at least the title of your story. Hmm. So find your own way now of concluding this moment of deep listening and sharing with this being. Mm. And slowly come back to us here. You know, um, it is said that in the old times when people were leaving their village to go out, they would gather stories like this story you have gathered, and then they would meet other people and they would share their stories. So, we are soon going to invite you to share very briefly the story of that being mm, with other human beings. We are going to invite you into groups of four, and there will be something like 1.5 minutes for each one of you to share a little bit of this story. You can talk about the story itself, or you can talk about how it made you feel, how it was for you to listen and speak back. And while the others are listening, please hold space and listen from that place you are listening to that being. So you kind of your the deepest part of your heart, where like your heart is widely open, and you're listening from that place of open-heartedness. Yeah. So yeah, soon the breakout rooms will be open, and we will meet you in few minutes. Yeah. Enjoy. Welcome back from this moment of community. Mm, We are really curious about stories and stories about the stories that have happened. I'm wondering if there is a particular gesture you want to offer to us, as if this gesture is representing the answer to how was it for you. So we have a glimpse of that beauty that happened there. Mm. So yeah, what if you used your hands or your mm-hmm. I can see some yeah hands entanglement and hearts hands on heart and stretchings and hearts opening up. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, thank you for diving into this realm of faith, I would say, faith and hope that everything has a story and it's just waiting for us to make silence so we can listen to their story and then we can enter the conversation with our story. And let's see how all these are being woven, Bogdan.
Yeah, So we are opening now a moment of yeah, sharing from our side some ideas, perspectives that from our point of view, yeah, can expand our awareness and our ecological consciousness and shift us more from an ego-centric way of being and living into an earth-centric way. And we just share our perspectives, and you take whatever feels right from your side, um, as we are not holding the ultimate and the only truth, but we just share what we resonate with. And one idea that we want to bring in this tapestry of threads is the concept of animism. And I'm gonna type the word here so we all have the same understanding, as as English is my second language, so animism. And animism is the perspective, philosophy, way of looking at life and the world as if everything is alive, as if everything is sentient, is feeling, has a sense of perception, and everything has a purpose, a soul. And if we look at the world through the lens of animism, a stone is a being, a river is a being, a cloud is a being. Even the table or the chair that we are now in touch with is a being. And they are beings because they are composed of the sacred elements. All the beings have, in a way, earth, water, air, and fire in them. So, and they are all part of the larger creation. So this way of looking at the world is very present in the indigenous cultures, in the tribes of the world, because people knew that they can develop intimate relationships and connection with the world, and the world is animate. And that's why the indigenous people have, the dance of the buffalo. They are talking with the trees or with the animals. They have spirit guides because there is an animated world that lives around us. And in a way is the real universe that was described by the poem. And we all can access and engage in relationships with all elements, the natural elements. But in order to do this, we need to shift our consciousness from the state of consciousness that we can define as the beta state of consciousness, in which we are analytical, we run our daily tasks, into different states of consciousness, like the alpha or the theta, which operate in different vibrations. And when we are in this state of consciousness, we can perceive the animated world of the other beings. And we can access this through our body, through our intuition, through our imagination, through, yeah, the senses that we all possess in our natural intelligence. So this is one thread that we want to bring, and Eleni, feel free to add your part of the sharing. So the concept of animism, and that everything has spirit and is animated, and I can develop a friendship with a tree that is in front of my house, and I can speak with the water that is coming from the tap when I wash the dishes, and or the water that washes my body when I take the shower, or with the Great Spirit, or with the sun, or with the moon. Yeah, so this is a little bit from my side.
Bogdan, I love how you spoke about indigenous people um, living these animism. They are not taught the animism. They are living. It's how they are. It's what exists. And I like to believe that we were also once indigenous people. Um, So somehow we have these inside. It's in our genes, in our bodies, in our bones, in our hearts, and spirits and minds. We have these deep knowing. Um, but maybe to maybe we have spent quite some time in the egocentric way of living, in the way of living which is um, separated from the natural world. And even this word, natural world, is speaking of our separation. Even the word I loved, I just thought about it a few days ago. The word nature is everything around us somehow, landscapes and animals and plants and phenomena, weather phenomena and so on. And somehow we humans are not involved in this nature from the perspective of vocabulary and understanding also. So yeah, we have separated, we have deviated, we have gone far. Um, and it's not just this lifetime. It has been happening for hundreds, if not maybe thousands of years, but definitely has been accelerated in our times, in these days that we are living now. And what we need uh, to awake from this fake universe, as the poem says, or this long deep sleep of separation, or this belief that humans are different from nature or humans are superior to other beings and can take everything for on their advantage. So what we need to wake up is eco-awakening. Eco-awakening. So this is a concept which is brought by Bill Plotkin, and yeah, just the word awakening signifies the long sleep that we have been falling into, and the drastic shift in consciousness that is needed to um, embrace this kind of understanding, embodied understanding, um, that everything is alive, everything has a soul, everything um, is equal, and everything belongs, including us. So, yeah, maybe just to bring it more precisely, eco-awakening is a huge shift in one person's consciousness that once it is done, it somehow helps the person to feel utter belonging to the web of life, utter belonging to the web of life. And it is such a huge understanding, huge shift in the understanding, as if one, as Bogdan spoke before, feels brother and sister or mother or daughter to every being around, that there is no separation from me and the air that I am breathing actually now. And the air is penetrating me, and I am penetrating air, and the fire which is here next to me, and the eagle, even the beings very far from the places where we are at the moment. So we are all interconnected, and we are all in this family of things, and also we are all in service to each other. So these are things that are being revealed once we cross the threshold of eco-awakening. These are things that, are becoming realized. And this eco-awakening, it's worth to speak that it's an embodied understanding. It's not it's a field experience. It's not something we learn from the book or through yeah, I don't know, something we ask AI or something like that. It's a really feel embodied experience. Mm, Maybe I just want to bring the last line of the poem again here. It's the sweet sound of reality, this reality that we belong, that we are in interconnectedness, that we are, yeah, everything is alive and everything is in harmony. Everyone you love is waiting for you there. Everyone you love is waiting for you there as we cross the threshold. And just one more thing, Bogdan, and I'll give you back the word. I just love this. Everyone you love is waiting for you there, because I think it also embeds this thread that we are longing. We are longing to belong to the family of things. And all the other things, beings, are longing for our wholehearted and yeah, conscious presence in the web of life and participation in the web of life. We depend on them and they depend on us, and somehow this longing is happening both ways. We, maybe humans, as the poem says, do not understand it clearly, but our bodies know. Our bodies know and our hearts know that there is there is a deeper longing, a deeper belonging, deeper layer of belonging, and everyone we love is waiting for us over there. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a few more things here, very few. Recently, I did a training course, Erasmus Plus, called Natural Intelligence, and I also brought the concept of animism. And one of the participants asked me, how do we know that this is not our mind creating fantasies about, there's the tree talking to me? How do we know that it's not just inside of our head? Um, well, I cannot guarantee, but I can invite you to experience this. And one way of doing this is to slow down. So when we slow down and we shift into a meditative, contemplative state of being, we begin to feel a little differently. And maybe you just slow down and you sit next to the plant that you have in the house, or next to your pet, or next to the tree in front of the house, and meditate, express gratitude, and see what shifts inside of you. And one last idea from my side is the invitation to shift from speaking about the natural world to shift into speaking with the natural world. So instead of speaking about the trees and the river, into speaking with the trees and with the river. And yeah, there are countless of resources and books about communicating with the animals, with the trees, with the beings. Only Googling it and you will find doors opening. So this would be from my side the final words, Eleni.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just two more drops in this cocktail from my side. Well, yeah, I just want to maybe name that when, yeah, this idea of eco-awakening um, help us also step into the ecocentric way of living, which means that in the center of our attention is eco, which means, the web of life, home, earth, web of life, that kind of eco, in comparison to egocentric, when the center of the attention and all the operation happens for the sake of the ego, um, of the self, as if the self is superior to all the other um, things and beings, including humans. And also, it's different from anthropocentric, where again the center of attention is anthropos, which means humans, as if again humans are superior to all the other beings. So, yeah, having the web of life in the center of the attention and serving that one. So that was one of my drops. And the other drop is, yeah, maybe that poem that speaks about the egocentric way of living, believing that the fake universe is the real universe, as the poem says. So to live in this egocentric way of life, which is far from the natural way of life and far from our own, the natural way of being, and believing that um, this is the only thing, and our needs are more important than all the other things and beings. Mm, maybe I lost my thread here. Mm, just a moment. Yeah. Mm, maybe just to name, yeah, maybe what is in my mind is this poem line that speaks about how sick societies cast spells to keep us believing this nonsense that we are separate and we are far and we are, um, you know, superior or alone. So yeah, in this process here, we are um, breaking the spells to maybe stop believing this and maybe open our possibilities for deepening eco-awakening. Mm. And by the way, we are now speaking theory. I think we have concluded maybe, and we have already provided practices, and we will continue. And in the very end, there will be a place for questions and answers. So gather if you have questions to tackle them in the end of the webinar. Bogdan, is there something you want to share here?
I'm good. I think we can go to the next process.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was quite some chunk of mental um, input. Let us go back to the body and the imagination and the heart. I mean, mind is always there. But yeah, let's go back to that. Yeah, we're inviting you to drop into a moment of working with your imagination. We will offer a visualization practice. So yeah, maybe it's a good moment to leave the pen and the journal on the side and to find the spot that feels okay for you to be in. You might want to do it standing. It's also okay, or sitting, or by laying down, whatever feels right to you. And yeah, we are shifting our consciousness to that realm of imagination. So yeah, as I am doing now, I'm inviting you to take also a few deep breaths to invite inside of you more profoundly the element of air, maybe creating more space inside, maybe taking a deeper breath and then exhaling even more deeply. Mhm. So yeah, a few deep breaths and slowly, if you feel like, close your eyes or stare at the fire or at the window. So the idea is to stop observing with our eyes of the face, but to start seeing with the other eyes, the eyes of the imagination. So yeah, gently close your eyes. Feel how you are somehow connected to Earth, even if you are on the seventh floor of the building. You are somehow still touching Earth. Your feet are on the ground or on the floor, which is touching Earth. And feel how Earth has always been and is still holding you. And we can always count on her. And feel also how our head is in the skies in a way, touching the element of the air, as if we are also breathing sky. And from that place, drop your attention inwardly, perhaps by making more space in your heart or imagining that you're opening more widely your heart. You are soon going to be invited to go on a little journey. So if there is anything else that needs to happen before that, maybe leaving something further on the side, maybe paying more attention to your breath, just a few seconds to do that. Now I'm inviting you to imagine that there is a door inside, the place there of your inward reality, a door, a door or a gate that once you open it and you cross it, you are arriving into a place in the land that feels utterly safe. It might be a place that you have already visited, or it might be an imaginal place that wants you to visit it right now. Whatever that is, once you cross that gate, you're finding yourself in the land, in a place that feels safe and nurturing and loving and wild and gorgeous in its own way. As you are coming there, I'm just again inviting you to observe that place and its elements. Maybe there are beings there, beings on the ground or in the soil or in the air. Yeah, just keep observing, keep being curious about this place. And from all these beings that surround you, open your imagination to see how you are connected with them, perhaps through the heart. How do you feel in their presence? What emotions are evoking in your heart? And just observe also how these emotions perhaps influence your body, your heartbeat, or your tempo of breathing, or your muscles. Now I'm inviting you to again look around, but now with these lenses of looking and tracking the beauty that is around, the beauty, the beauty and the service, how every being around is serving you in this moment, and perhaps how you are serving back everything. If you were to imagine threads, a web connecting you with these beings around, how would the web be created? What connections do you see between you and everything around you in that particular place? Then I'm inviting you to drop any layers of protection that maybe exist and just offer yourself in the embrace of that place as if you are knowing that you can now finally relax, that this place has got you, can hold you, can hold you as you are there, naked in a way, after dropping all the layers of protection. And that this place and all these beings that serve you can also hold you, no matter who you are and no matter what you have been carrying with you so far. As if this place now is becoming home or has been always home. And you're arriving there. And just observe the emotions that now arise. While you're held, while you're taken care of, while you're served, while you are in utter connection. And if there is a space, drop even a little bit more into the arms of that place, knowing you are loved and you love it back. From that place where you are, just listen deeply to what the place is whispering to you. Maybe it comes through song or words or nonverbal language. And if it feels right, you might do a gesture of response, for all the gifts that have been savored there, as we are soon going to return to this physical realm, keeping the imaginal realm utterly alive. Hmm. So yeah, find your way now of crossing the threshold, the gate. Maybe before doing that, you want to make a promise that you will return or you will be in reciprocity in your own way. By coming to through the gates into your body, we are inviting you to keep still silent, perhaps to taste again the air of your room, to breathe deeply, to feel how the earth is touching your feet and you're touching the earth, the floor, the ground, and your body is also holding you. If there is a need, you can make a little movement in your body to come back to this realm. As I said, we will stay in silence for a little while longer, but you are soon going to be crossing also the threshold of the eyes. And without speaking, we're just inviting you to find your colors and your drawing materials and the blank page. And perhaps it's a moment of capturing the experience there, drawing the place or drawing your emotions or drawing how it felt or what it spoke. So it's a moment of you and yourself, still with that place, but in the realm of drawing. So 1 more minute here, 1 more minute to continue. As the music is fading away and the drawing is asking you, I'm sure, to continue this engagement, you're just opening another possibility here. As you are in this process, as you are in this state of consciousness, and this is the possibility of writing a poem from that place where you are now, entangled with imagination, with earth, with drawing, with muse. Yeah, we're inviting you to write a poem. Definitely not a perfect one, just a raw, authentic one that speaks of, yeah, what is there alive inside of you? What is alive? inside of you. And there will be 2 minutes or three, yeah, for you to work this poem. Mhm. As the music has faded away again, mm, and I'm sure the poem wants you to stay there. Yeah, just I think we're deepening. This is what we are by opening another bowl, another possibility. So yeah, we're deepening, and now there is a possibility if you feel like to take one of your lines or two of the lines of the poem and share it here in the chat, in the common chat, so we can read it out loud and somehow we are spreading the magic in the world, in this little community here we have created, but also in the further world. And know also that once you have, I mean, you're giving permission to for us to read out loud your lines once they are in the chat. So just be aware of that. And we will give your name so the creators are spoken to, they are, yeah, announced. So if it feels right, yeah, we are just looking for that. Yeah. And I will start with the first one, and me and Bogdan will alternate the poetry reading. And we have already the first one from Magdalena saying, the tunnels of living conscious and unconscious, living darkness and brightness, all dancing together inside of me, some struggling to breathe, some shouting to be heard. The breath long, peaceful breath brings everything together. Mm. Thank you, Magdalena.
And coming from Marina, in this land made of nowhere, I can see the wound, while the dry trees move gently, and the mole comes out from the soil. Beautiful.
Mm. This one is from Raluca. The shaking of the millions of microscopic algae. The wind saying hello as I breathe in. Mm.
And from Erato, and now they welcome me back into their loving arms to complete the puzzle. How I longed for my home. How I feel the love and the belonging of my own.
Mm. This one is from Sophie. Passionate for life, capital L, for elevation, feeling the expansion of my soul, feeling love, pain. I'm alive. Aho, Sophie.
And from Dorina, um, barefoot and free I walk on the path laid before me, the wind all around with its gentle caress. I feel light and held by the strong light of the sun.
This one is from Mohammed Ibrahim. I lived for so long inside my mind, thinking the world was only mine. But one quiet day, the noise inside me fell silent. I understood I was never the center, only a small node in a much greater picture. Beautiful.
From Beirut, jumping from place to place without my heart, she's waiting in another time, in another place. Does it have to be this hard waiting for my place? Mm.
Mm, Beautiful. This one is from Vanda. I'm alive in me. I am alive in me. I brushed away the ash from my back and shoulders. I am alive in me. Welcome, Vanda.
And from Elia, a strong flame that could burn anything, despite the wind tries to shut it down, despite the water makes it seem finished, but the flame stays, resting on heavy wood. It feeds, it gives, it protects, a steady light that promises safety.
The next one is from Vasiliki Raya Nastu. She walks softly, feet kissing the soil. The earth holds her. She holds the earth. Mhm, mhm,
And from Ma, the crippling fear sits tight on you, mistaken for protective skin. The light being inside's long for returning home, supported by the ground, connected with the tail. It takes the first step, allowing the skin to shed.
Mm. And from Miri, dying, drowning, dropping inside my heart, becoming light in a universe of belonging. Beautiful. Thank you, Miri.
And from Chara, two universes. What was I? Where was I? Blood, struggle, rebirthing. A small light found me, and I followed. Two universes. What I was, where was I? Blood, struggle, rebirthing. And the earth, breath with me, love, returning back in place.
Do you see how magic is being created? I feel like magic is just spreading around around my room, our everybody's room, the places where we are and beyond. Mm, yeah, really deep gratitude for giving yourself to to the muse, to the drawing, to the poetry, to the earth, to yourself, to yeah, the list is long and endless probably. Mm. But yeah, maybe one thing to be acknowledged is the lost the old. Yeah, thank you for doing that. Mm. And it's something to be continued in the imaginal, but also in the practical realm. What I'm trying to say is go back to your drawing. Maybe there is something to be continued there. Maybe go back to the poem. Maybe there is more lines to be written. Go back to that imaginal place and spend time with it. Maybe you might even want to spend time with the drawing and the poetry, maybe having them next to your bed or, having a reminder to be in conversation with them. I am sensing that, um, yeah, more treasures are to be revealed once you maintain the conversation. And again, thank you from my side for this. But there is more. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. So we have been journeying together for close to 2 hours, weaving different threads, listening to poems, going in the imaginary realm, listening to different perspectives coming from our side, feeling each other, being in the body. Maybe some things happen with you, for you, in these moments here. And we want to harvest a little bit this experience and maybe uh, invite even more awareness. So, we want to offer you a moment of journaling. There are several questions here that we want to offer you one by one, and there will be a bit of music in the background. And the intention of this moment is maybe to go deeper into yourself, into your connection with the land, into the conversation that you can have with the land, with the earth, and going to the heart of the matter. I want to reveal the first question, and you'll have about 2 minutes to journal in your own language. Write anything that comes to you. We invite intuitive writing, not so much analyzing. You may also sketch, make any symbols that come to you. And the first question is, where do you feel at home on the earth? Where do you feel at home on the earth? And allow your imagination, your heart, your memories to bring you to those places, known or unknown. Where do you feel at home on the earth? We are bringing now a second question. And this question is, what places and beings are calling you at this moment? What places and beings are calling you at this moment? Places on the earth, beings of nature that are calling you at this moment. 2 more minutes. to make space for one more question. And this one is, what can you do to serve the earth and those places and beings more deeply? What can you do to serve the earth and those places and beings more deeply? And again, about 2 minutes for this question. One last question, and this one goes like this. What one action can you do in the next 24 hours to serve the earth and your places or beings? What one action you can do in the next 24 hours to serve the earth and your place and beings? And again, about 2 minutes for this. All right. So, calling you back from this journaling moment, holding a deep encouragement to do that action in the next 24 hours and to cultivate a relationship with the places where you belong, where you feel at home, with the beings that are calling you. Yeah, allow the insights that came through this journaling to work you and guide you in the following hours and days. And yeah, you may continue journaling even after this webinar. But we are slowly approaching the end of our time here. And yeah, I'm inviting you, Eleni.
Mhm. I'm here. We are here. We have been here. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a moment of maybe, yeah, exiting this realm that we have been in. For the ones who have uh, the candle next to them, um, we are shifting our attention there. For the ones who don't have a candle, we are inviting you again to imagine that there is a candle that has been always a candle. And yeah, maybe as we're staring at the fire in the candle, we might, yeah, maybe think um, how this today 2 hours has served me on a personal level, and how has served the earth too. What have you gained? What have you discovered? Um, and send your gratitude to all the parts of you that have brought you here today. The curiosity you had, and the courage you had, and yeah, the open heart, and so much more. Yeah, sending a gratitude to yourself. And let's also send our gratitude to the being of the fire, which has been also in our company today. Yeah, and by taking a deep breath in, we are going to breathe out, and we're going to blow the candle. Let's do it. Mm. Mm. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so, so, so much. And know that your presence and the way you act can and is already making change. Mm. So, yeah, let's do more of that. And now, Bogdan, yeah, do you want to add something here? Please do that.
No, just closing words, but you are in a flow, so feel free to
No,
continue.
no, go, Bogdan. I
Yeah.
would anyway.
Mm. Well, I hope this time together really opens something inside of you that will open even more in the coming days and throughout your whole life. Because we are really at a crossroad between an old story of the earth that is falling apart. And in this falling apart, there's an abundance of crises all around us: political, economical, environmental. But what gives me hope among the despair that sometimes I feel and I'm overwhelmed by, is that there is a new story emerging, and we are part of the writing of this story. And maybe we all have a word in this new chapter of Earth's evolution. And yeah, this gives me hope. And seeing you all so committed and being present and engaged in everything is such a blessing. It's such a blessing, and I feel so enriched only by witnessing and seeing you through these screens. Yeah. So thank you, and I hope we'll meet again tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So this would be from my side, Eleni, as a closing word, and you have some more things to tell us.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just feeling more the community that has been created here. That's why I'm silent for a moment. Yeah, what a blessing to be together today and grow in this realm. We are now going to have a short moment for the questions you might have. If you feel like you have concluded, you can leave. If you have questions about the topics or anything else, youth work, and so on, we are here for the next 10 minutes with Bogdan to respond to this, and you can use the chat to drop your questions. Other than that, yeah, blessed days and see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I have a question. Um,
Dear
I
Ma,
work for, yeah,
and
Ma.
you, just for you to know that you will be visible now in the recording. I don't know if you feel okay with that in the YouTube. I mean, I don't know. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Go on.
So I'm from an organization that works with this kind of Erasmus project, but within the adult field. But we have youth that come for things that we do. So I'm wondering, because I see sometimes some trainings that our country is not a part of. So if you could give me just like a quick maybe understanding of how we can be a part of those training to offer it in from our country also.
May I ask what your country is?
Iceland.
Okay. I think this is easy. Oh, Bogdan, I'm just answering
Yeah,
straightforward. Yeah,
please
I
go
will
on.
start and you if you want to add something. I think there is a possibility of maybe collaborating and starting something new. Because yeah, you know how Erasmus Plus works. It's based on partnership. So maybe there's a possibility for a new partnership with this topic, and then um, you know, you, Bogdan and me, we could, I don't know, come or offer somehow knowledge there. So that's a possibility that comes to me right now to start a new. Mhm. It would be beautiful anyway. Yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah, and just briefly here, I have a friend from Romania who worked in Iceland in the NGO sector for a couple of years, and I can put you in touch with her. She worked with Erasmus Plus, and she may give you some directions in this area. So if you write me an email, I can put you in touch with her.
Super, thank you.
I can put my email here. I don't know if you have it, just not to lose this moment. So yeah, my email is in the chat.
There's a message from Vanda. What is the vision you have around this topic? How do you envision the goal of these activities? Short or long term? I'm curious. Trying orient in all of these. I'm reading Plotkin and I experienced training in Kudovica. Bogdan, do you want to answer first? Or
Um, well, some thoughts around here. For me, these activities like this webinar are ways of keeping the fire alive and feeding the seeds that we have inside of us, because for me personally it can be challenging to live in a city, in the urban life, in the yeah, modern lifestyle. So these activities are just, feeding my soul, and they remind me of the sacred way of living. And also they yeah, continue expanding my consciousness, that I can yeah, live with more divine guidance, with more guidance from my soul. And it's also, I see, as a way of connecting with each other and feeding the global community of eco-centric people. And who knows, maybe cooperation and partnerships and bigger projects can emerge out of this. So please reach out if you have any ideas. Yeah, we are open to cooperation, supporting each other. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, and
mm,
wonderful that you've been to Gudevica. Gudevica is a special place for both Eleni and I.
I was just gonna say that, Bogdan, and also to appreciate and praise the curiosity you're having, Vanda, and also the I mean, I don't know, but through your message here, I feel this longing and this desire to search and deepen, and I want to acknowledge that and praise and um, yeah, maybe just to answer also one line from my side. Yeah, maybe very briefly, my vision or our vision is to live what we're living here uh, in the every day, in the every day. So we are not living this only when we're meeting in gatherings, but this becomes a way of life. Um, yeah, what we have been working on today. And in the realm of tending the precious and the sacred, and being in service, and yeah, any action from that, I think for me is important. Any action in that vision of tending the important and the sacred. Mm. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Raluca.
Eleni and Bogdan, thank you for today. Yeah. And I have a question. Can I subscribe to the question that was asked earlier and send an email with curiosities? Since I'm part of a young association that's looking for partnerships. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, please. I mean, that's a great place. That's how things start. This is how we started with Bogdan. I don't know how many years ago, Bogdan? 13, 12 years ago. Yeah, this is building mycelium between us and building webs. And the more we are in these communities, the more we can be in service. So, yeah, great, Raluca. Please join. And I can also write my email, and I think you have it also in the email that Inspiration Path sent. But yeah, feel free to, I mean, feel free. We encourage you to do that. Not only feel free, we encourage you to take actions, take opportunities. We need more of that. Mm. mistake. Sorry. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Like guides, I see him with his hands in the chest. Maybe we can, yeah, as again offer gratitude and close this. There will be also room for questions and for cooperation in the next webinar and in the next webinar. So yeah, meet us also there. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
Thank you, and we hope to see you tomorrow.